Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream happening every Thursday. I'm a little bit later today due to scheduling issues because we are traveling. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we explore the powerful cosmic energies that are unfolding right now. The latest UAP Disclosure developments. We'll also be talking about some uplifting community events that are happening nationally, and also some conscious living tools and a guided meditation to help you align with your highest timeline. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the astrological news that's happening, what's happening in the cosmos. Let's get into it. So I always like to start with, where is the sun? Well, the sun entered the sign of Gemini on May 20th. So happy birthday to all of our Gemini twins. Yes, it's Gemini is a very interesting sign because it is an air sign. So the sign of Gemini has to do with communication, curiosity, social connection, mental stimulation, learning, adaptability, fast-moving information. So think about it, how we're in this year of the fire horse. Things are moving fast. And I see we have a comment, and let's say hello to Dustin Yale. I'm not sure how to say your name, but hello, thank you. Thank you for watching, and giggity goo to you too. All right, so let's get into what this Gemini is all about. So this shift from the sun into the sign of Gemini, it has to do with collective energy going toward communication and all of these things that I just that you see on the screen here. Now, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, right, the planet of communication and contracts and computers and short distance travel, this season tends to accelerate conversations, media activity, networking, travel, and the exchange of ideas. There's a lot of thinking happening. We're all being presented with lots of new information. So this, all these ideas align with the rapid disclosure that we're getting and the revelation themes that are unfolding right now. Let's see. So Blue Unicorn, you're saying hello to you. And Glory Velasquez, hi there. So glad to see you. Thanks for watching. Okay, so let's get into the moon. And there we go. So what's happening with the moon is that we are in a waxing moon phase, meaning we're moving from the new moon that happened on May 16th in the sign of Taurus to the full moon that's happening this Sunday, Eastern time. It's happening at 4:45 a.m. and it's in the sign of Sagittarius. So it's also a blue moon. Now, the blue moon happens about every 2 to 2.5 years. And what that means is there are 2 full moons happening in the same month. It's the same. So we had one on May 1st. Now we have one on the 31st. But you start feeling the moon, the full moon or a new moon, 2 to 3 days before the full moon or new moon, and 2 to 3 days after. So there's like a 5-day window where you're really feeling the energy and you could work with that energy. It's a really great time to meditate, write your intentions, focus on what it is that you want to create. So the blue moon amplifies the themes of truth, expansion, revelation, higher wisdom, and spiritual awakening, which are all part of the qualities of Sagittarius. This is perfect energy for intention setting, releasing limiting beliefs, meditation, journaling, and connecting to your bigger vision. So maybe revisit your goals that you have. And, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is a great benefactor. So it's about expansion and higher knowledge and growth. So also think of the full moon too. The full moon illuminates. We have, the most light during the night with the full moon. So we're illuminating things. And we have this illumination around truth, because Sagittarius energy is about truth seeking and freedom and higher wisdom. Also spirituality, teaching, and media, travel, and belief systems. So our paradigm is shifting. Our belief system about things is shifting. As you see, all these things coming out in the media and in the mainstream media about UFOs and UAPs being revealed, what's really been going on. And as I get into that, I will talk about what's happened since last week. A lot of things coming out every week. So Sagittarius wants liberation and perspective. So this could energy could help you feel uplifting and adventurous, emotionally expansive, truth revealing, or spiritually activating. Because Sagittarius, as I said, rules higher knowledge and truth seeking. So this full moon pairs very well with the disclosure themes and hidden information that's coming to light. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the UAP, and let me remove our little blue moon here. Okay. So, as the cosmos shines a light on hidden truths, let's shift to the latest developments in the world of UAP disclosure. And the biggest news, well, not the biggest news, but the big thing that did happen since last week was that there was a second release of the Pentagon files, a second batch or tranche, people are using this word tranche, of UAP files last Friday. So 2 weeks before that was the first tranche. And then this past Friday, another batch of files being released by the government. And if you want to see them, you can just go to www.war.gov/UFO, and you'll be able to see all the files that came out. But the big news that just happened, I believe, yesterday was that Representative Eric Burleson, he targeted MITRE. Now, what is MITRE? The most significant development this week was that Eric Burleson sent legislative interrogatories and production requests to the MITRE Corporation. And this is regarding possible possession, analysis, concealment, transfer, or destruction of UAP-related materials and records. And this is a major escalation because MITRE is deeply embedded in defense systems, aerospace research, intelligence infrastructure, and federally funded research and development. So this interrogatory that Representative Burleson has given to them involves the UAP records that they particularly hold. Things about anomalous aerospace and undersea events, as well as recovered materials and technologies of unknown origin. He's looking for alleged crash retrieval programs, reverse engineering efforts, historical classified archives, and declassification compliance. Let's see. The inquiry also references concerns that records may have been shifted into private contractor channels to avoid congressional oversight. And so this is what they have been doing. You've heard of the FOIA request, which is Freedom of Information Act. Well, that's what we can request from the government, that they get, we can request this different information that they have. But when they shift that information to a corporation like MITRE or other defense contractors, then you can't access that information. So this is the one way that they hide all of this information that they have. So this is one of the first times a sitting congressman has aggressively pressed a federally funded defense research organization, and not just the Pentagon, because like Representative Luna and stuff has been after the Pentagon, and that's why we're getting these files. Plus, of course, President Trump did make that request back in February, and they're finally releasing some of the files. I'm not sure how many files were released last week, but the first drop was 162 files. Let's see. So, and this is a formal investigative mechanism. So this matters because many researchers and whistleblowers have long alleged that sensitive UAP programs were moved into these contractor ecosystems, and they've used compartmentalization to bypass the elected oversight. So these private entities are holding records that Congress can't access, and this is why there's been such a cover-up over the last 80 years. So that has been requested, and I did see a report that said it seems like MITRE is gathering those things, and they even have records from the 1930s. So there's lots happening in the UAP world, and we're going to be getting more and more revelations and insights. So it's very matches up with the astrology that's happening with this full moon in Sagittarius. The next big thing that's coming up is on June 12th, the Steven Spielberg's new movie about aliens, about ETs, called Disclosure Day, is going to premiere on the 12th. And what's really cool about that is the New Paradigm Institute, Danny Sheehan, who's the president, he's like the constitutional lawyer who has was behind the Pentagon Papers and Watergate and all these big constitutional cases. He's going to do, after the Spielberg movie premieres on the 12th, that following Sunday, and 4 Sundays, he's going to be doing some Q&As on a Zoom to kind of help people, adjust to whatever information we get from this movie, because Steven Spielberg did say that everything in the movie is real. Everything in the movie is real. So they're going to be talking, I think, about hybrids and this kind of thing, concepts that maybe people, it was in the, fringe of thought, but it's coming to light because several people have been talking about hybridization, and I'll be talking about that in just a minute. So be aware that there will be some Zooms happening on Sundays, and I will be getting, before they start happening, I will get you the information so that you know how to be part of that, because this is, Danny Sheehan and the New Paradigm Institute. So let me put that website up. This is really the main citizens organization that is kind of pushing for UAP transparency. And now there's the New Paradigm Institute, and the grassroots arm of that is called Citizens for Disclosure. So that's the actual grassroots arm. And, this is why organizations like Citizens for Disclosure really matter, because transparency doesn't just happen from the top down. It happens from the ground up, especially in a democracy, right? And the big push from, or campaign that we're working on as Citizens for Disclosure, and I am one of the Citizens for Disclosure as well, actually since October of 2024, I've been involved with Citizens for Disclosure. And what we're working on right now is a UAP Transparency Pledge campaign. So this is where we're asking all of the representatives in the House, all of the senators in the Senate, and also candidates running for office to sign this pledge, which has to do with UAP transparency, with whistleblower protection, which is a big thing where they need to get amnesty so they can come forward. So urge your congressman, the way you can help is become part of the New Paradigm Institute. Just go to the website, sign up to become a volunteer, minimally sign up to get their newsletter. Every week you'll get an email from Danny Sheehan that gives you the legitimate, up-to-date facts and news about what's going on. And here I will give you a direct link that takes you to the Transparency Pledge on the New Paradigm website, tinyurl.com/GVTV transparency. And you just fill out your information, and it will figure out who your senators are, who your representatives are. There's a letter already written, and you just send it. It takes you, less than 2 minutes to do. Putting the pressure on our Congress people is so important. And this push helps, we got to get at them from all angles, and, and support the Congress people that are behind this effort. So please go to this website, and we'll put it in the description as well. Now, as part of my involvement in the Citizens for Disclosure, I started a series called Galactic Good Vibes, where I actually interview different experiencers, people who've not just seen them in the sky, but actually had interactions and encounters, close encounters with our star family. And so if you're enjoying these conversations about consciousness, disclosure, and humanity's place in the cosmos, be sure to check out this series. Part 2 with Natalie Hill is now live. I just released that just 2 nights ago. And she is very interesting. And here's the link that gets you directly to the episode. In this episode, in this part of her episode, she's talking about how do you determine the difference between a man-made UAP, UFO, craft versus a real one. And she tells you how to do that. And also she talks about the hybridization program that has been going. There are apparently several different ones, but she's a part of one of them. And she describes type 1, type 2, and type 3 hybrids. And when I'm saying hybrid, meaning human, people who have human and ET DNA. Now, she says that all humans have from 1% to 5% ET DNA. So we're all part ET, right? We're all part of the star family. But then type 2s have more, and then she talks about type 3s who are starborn hybrids. So you check it out. It is very interesting and very new information for me as well. So check it out, and the link is right there. Now, let's get into some conscious activism. I love talking about ways we can consciously be activists in our community on a local scale and on a national scale, even a global scale, really. And you don't have to fight the system to shift it. You can outgrow it energetically. And while disclosure is about truth coming to light, collective voices and conscious community gatherings are also very powerful catalysts for change. And so I like to follow the nokings.org website. And if you go there, you'll find out about a specific event. And let's see, let me get this on the screen here. That's happening on June 14th. So that'll be 2 days after the Spielberg movie comes out. Okay, how do I add this? Let me add this. Add share screen. There we go. So on, there we go. I want to make it big. There we go. So actually, if you go to, it's called riseupsingout.com, and this is the website that I'm showing you right now. This is put on, and I guess in collaboration with the No Kings protest and the group, the Committee for the First Amendment. They're presenting a Rise Up Sing Out, which is a concert for the First Amendment. And this is happening on Sunday, June 14th at 7:30 p.m. At the Town Hall in New York City. They're going to have Rufus Wainwright, Bette Midler, Patti Smith, Sasha Allen, Joy Reid, and Jane Fonda, who will be there. And you can go in person and actually buy tickets or find a watch party, host a watch party, or just watch from your home. So I signed up to watch from my home because I'm not sure that I can actually host, an event at this time. I'm not sure what I'm doing on June 14th, but I'm sure going to be by a device or whatever, and I'll be able to watch this. So the Committee for the First Amendment is hosting this Rise Up Sing Out. It's a concert for the First Amendment. It's an uplifting evening of song, solidarity, and action. And it lasts 90 minutes long, and it's celebrating the freedoms granted by our First Amendment, our freedoms of speech, our freedoms of religion, the press, assembly, and protests, the right to protest peacefully. So, this is happening, and, just go to this website. Again, it's Rise Up and Sing Out, and, check it out, because this is something that I just found out about, and I just think that this is something, worth checking out, and a way to elevate our spirits and just remind ourselves of that. So let me go to comments real quick. Matt is saying, hey, and he says, can I ask you something? So yeah, go ahead and put it in the comments as long as it's, appropriate, but go ahead and ask me something and I will answer if I can. So check out the Rise Up, riseupsingout.com and, watch it. It's free online. So check it out. And if you're in New York City, go to it. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful event to attend live. All right. So let's now talk about, and I do want to say one other thing about conscious activism, being part of the communities to, celebrate our First Amendment rights, remember them and practice them, right, is so important. But another thing that you can do is just meditate and send love and light to the planet. What we do consciously really makes a difference in raising our vibration collectively across the planet. And that does totally make a difference and is very powerful. So I've talked about astrologer Pam Gregory, who likes to promote meditating daily for just 15 minutes, sending light and love to the planet. And she does it, she's in England, so it's 7 o'clock her time, but 2 o'clock Eastern time. And just adjust it for whatever time zone you're in and just do it collectively. She was doing it every Sunday, but now she's doing it every day. And so it's a great way to collectively make a difference. Okay. Now let's talk, we're going to move from raising our vibration through music and unity. Now let's talk about nourishing the body and spirit through conscious living and natural wellness, which is one reason I like to promote different events and summits and things. And the Superfood Garden Summit is coming up on June 2nd. It lasts for 4 days. And this is where she will have 15 experts guiding you on how to plant a garden, how to plant the superfoods. And this lasts for 4 days. It's a free event. And here is the website for that. So this event is designed to help us grow our own food in a way that's simple, practical, and actually doable, no matter what your starting point, whether you've never gardened, even if you don't have a green thumb. Get the information. It's so important for us to kind of have that, what do they call it, food freedom. And so check it out, tinyurl.com, /capital GVTV 2026 Superfood Garden. So that's happening. That'll be like starting Tuesday next week. And you can watch the replays for 24 hours afterwards. So totally worth checking out. Okay, so let's now turn, after taking in all these powerful energies and talking about all these important things, let's take a couple of minutes to turn inward and ground ourselves and reconnect with our inner light. So I've added these short 3 to 4 minute meditations because it is so important to go within. That is where our peace is. And as the world is going crazy, there's all kinds of chaos happening. Where we get our peace and strength is from within, and meditation is really the key to do it. So let me get the music started. Now, this is a guided meditation called Opening to Higher Truth. And let me get our music going. And if you are in a place where you can do this meditation, please do. If not, watch this replay, just part of the video on replay. And this is a great time to really calm down and get in touch with our inner self. So let's take a deep, slow breath in and gently exhale. Again, breathing in peace and breathing out tension. Allow your body to relax. Relax your shoulders, soften your jaw. Release any heaviness you've been carrying. As you continue breathing slowly and naturally, imagine yourself standing beneath a beautiful night sky. It's vast, open, and filled with shimmering stars. Above you glows the radiant full moon in Sagittarius. It is bright, expansive, and filled with wisdom. Its silver light pours down around you like a waterfall of cosmic energy. This is the moon of truth, freedom, higher understanding, and spiritual expansion. Feel its light surrounding your body now, clearing away confusion, clearing away fear, clearing away limitation and emotional heaviness. With every breath, you become lighter, clearer, more aligned with your highest self. Today, we're releasing the need to control everything. We release fear-based thinking. We release old beliefs that no longer serve our growth. Imagine these old energies gently dissolving into the moonlight, disappearing into the night sky. Now place your hand over your heart and quietly say to yourself, I trust my inner guidance. I choose clarity over fear. I align with love, wisdom, and higher consciousness. Feel those words activating within you. As the Sagittarius full moon illuminates the collective, imagine a golden light awakening humanity, person by person, heart by heart. See this light spreading across the planet, dissolving fear, awakening compassion, inspiring courage, and revealing hidden truths at exactly the right time. You are part of this awakening. Your energy matters. Your consciousness matters. Now imagine a beam of golden white light flowing down from the stars through the full moon into the top of your head, filling your entire body with peace, protection, wisdom, and divine clarity. Feel yourself grounded between heaven and earth, balanced, calm, centered. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. As we move through these changing times, may we stay rooted in truth, guided by love, and open to the highest possibilities for ourselves and humanity. And so it is. Take one more deep breath in, gently exhale, and when you're ready, slowly bring your attention back to the room. So welcome back, everybody. I hope that the meditation was grounding for you and helpful. And now it's a great time to do a little bit of an oracle spread and reading. Every week I like to do a spread of the week, and I have been getting these from this book called 111 Oracle Spreads for Every Day by Crystal Banner. And so the one I picked for today, and I'm doing 5 card spreads because we're still in the month of May. And this one is called the Angelic Presence Spread. So let me read a little bit about it. Your angels are always around you, ready and willing to help in many different ways. The spread is designed to forge a stronger connection with your guardian angels, recognize their presence, and receive the valuable wisdom that they have to offer. So card number 1, and I have the actual spread here. I'm going to show you. Card number 1 represents, I'm going to shuffle as I share with you the spread. Card number 1 represents a sign of your angel's presence. Card number 2 represents the message your angels wish to convey to you. Card number 3 is the area of life your angels are bringing attention to. Card number 4 is the blessings that are bestowed upon you. And card number 5 is how to actively invite your angel's presence into your life. So I'm going to lay these cards out. Let's see if I can share this screen here. And leave that. So this is a little bit better. So card number 1, a sign of your angel's presence. And that card is All That Glitters. Number 16. Now, the deck that I'm using, it's not a tarot deck, it's an oracle deck. It's the Wisdom of the Oracle pocket deck by Colette Baron Reed, one of my favorite psychics, really. And so what did I say this was? Card number 16. So this is a sign of our angel's presence. So just reading that, All That Glitters, you know, sometimes seeing a little flash of light or glittering, that's a sign of your angel. Let's see what the book says. All that glitters, a need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkly new thing, being mercurial. It doesn't really apply to this kind of particular sign of your angel's presence. Again, my intuitively feel like that's all that glitters, that they do. The sign is something that glitters. So card number 2 is the message that your angels wish to convey to you. And that card is number 35, Loyal Heart. So, Loyal Heart. I'll read it intuitively. And again, as we're doing this, intuitively see what it means for you by the picture, by the name. And again, the message that your angels wish to convey to you, Loyal Heart. Essential meanings are fidelity, loyalty, and devotion. So that makes sense. You know, our angels are very devoted to us and loyal for sure. Card number 3 represents the area of life your angels are bringing attention to. And so that card is 30, tick tock. So that has to do with time and essential meanings, timelessness, divine timing, and immeasurable time. So the air of life the angels are bringing to us has to do with time. And let's look at card number 4 is the blessings that our angels are bringing to us. sometimes I don't, that card was upside down. Sometimes I read them upside down, sometimes I don't. But let's read it right side up. So card number 14 is Truth Be Told. So our angels are bringing us truth. Card number 14. Honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, clarity of communication. And there are longer descriptions in here, but I'm trying to keep this a little shorter for us. So truth be told. So the blessings that they're bringing us is the truth. You know, they're not going to lie to us. And the last card, now, because it was upside down, sometimes I see that as the energy being delayed. So maybe, you know, relating to all of this UFO stuff, maybe, you know, the angels are helping us to understand, you know, what's going on and revealing things little by little. Okay, so card number 5, finally, is how to actively invite your angel's presence into your life. And the card is Chop Wood, number 42. Card number 42 represents, or has the meaning of, being grounded in everyday experience and humility. So there's a Buddhist saying, chop wood, carry water. Being, you know, bringing spirituality to our day-to-day mundane tasks, right? So this is how we can actively invite our angel's presence into your life. And I love working with the angels. They're, you know, I feel like I've worked with them and talked with them more than I have like my spirit guides and that kind of thing. And I'm always asking them for help. So an active way to invite our angels' presence into our lives is in the mundane things. Like I'm always asking angels for help for different things, whether it's finding a parking space or, you know, whatever it is, whatever the issue is, helping somebody, asking them for their help for somebody else or for myself or whatever task, whatever mundane task it can be. So that is the way to do that. So let's again look at these cards again. All that glitters, and I feel like that's more the way the angels communicate to us is through you know, one way is sparks of light or flashing or this kind of thing. 2, card number 2, the message our angels wish to convey to us is a loyal heart, that they love us, they're here to help us, and they're very loyal. Card number 3, they're bringing attention to timing, I guess, and the timing, the tick-tock of life. Oh, where did it? Okay. And card number 4, the blessings they just bestow on us is the truth. So let's ask angels for the truth. And card number 5 is how do we actively invite them to the presence of our lives is in our day-to-day, you know, mundane life of chopping wood, carrying water, doing our basic, human tasks. So, all right, well, that's the spread, the Angelic Presence spread. I hope you liked it. And if you did like any of this, the book, the Oracle deck, you can go to good-vibes.tv and shop my Amazon store, and you'll be able to get all of those, available to you. They're all available to you there. Okay, so let's move on. We're almost done. And we are ready now to talk about the tip of the week to raise our vibration. I always like to end the show with this tip of the week. And let's just double check. Oh, much is fire. Thank you. This is Monique. Thank you. She's saying, good show. All right. So last week's tip of the week was called the Morning Gratitude Frequency Reset. And this is where we spend at least 5 minutes each morning placing your attention on your heart center and consciously generating feelings of gratitude. So you can think of 3 things that you appreciate. You can think of 3 things that are going right. And also 3 things that you desire to manifest as already unfolding. And what's so important when we're doing visualizations and putting our intentions out, we have to match our frequency to what it is that we want, right? So if you want love in your life, you need to be loving. You can't be fearful or angry or in any other vibe. If you want love in your life, you need to be projecting that energy of love. And we do that through our emotions. So we have to raise our vibration to the and feel the emotions of love or whatever it is that you want to manifest. If it's manifesting a job or a love in your life or a good trip, it's kind of visualizing and picturing it all working out perfectly and asking your angels to help you with the process. But this is a great way to help shift the nervous system when you're first waking up in the morning and setting the tone for the day. And if you start with gratitude, it makes all the difference in the world. So hopefully you tried that. And, it's just a great way. I love doing gratitude actually in the morning and also right before bed. Now, this week's tip of the week to raise your vibration is to choose discernment over fear. There are so many things that there's war, there's destruction, there's uncertainty. There's so many things that we could be fearful of, but we get to choose not to be fearful, and we get to choose to have discernment. So this week, with so much emotional intensity, revelation energy, and conflicting information in the collective, one of the highest vibration things you can do is to pause before reacting, right? Instead of just reacting and just having an emotion, pause, take a breath, and then choose how you want to react instead of just automatically go into fear. Because we do have this reptilian brain, right? That our survival, our basic instinct is to be fearful sometimes immediately of some things. But because as we become more developed and conscious, we can choose, not just react. So whether it's world events, disclosure news, relationship issues, social media narratives, ask yourself, this is the question: does this expand me into clarity and empowerment or pull me into fear and chaos? So ask that question instead of automatically reacting. Ask the question. And it's important to protect our energy by staying grounded. And when I say staying grounded, I mean it's really grounding yourself, getting your bare feet on the earth, touching it, hugging a tree, leaning up against a tree. It's another way to ground. But we actually get the negative ions from earth, and that helps balance our system because there are too many positive ions, right? And by connecting on the bare soles of our feet to the earth without shoes, because all the shoes have like rubber on them or plastic or something that those negative ions can't go through our feet. That's a lot of times why we're so ungrounded ever since we started wearing these shoes that didn't have natural soles on them. So we want to stay grounded, number 1. 2, hydrate. Drink water. So important. We don't drink enough water, and that is so important for many different reasons, both physically and spiritually. To connect to nature, taking a walk out in a park, being in your backyard, grabbing some rays from the sun, spending time in a garden. All those things are so important. And, it also helps us tune into our inner guidance, just like we did this meditation. If you're not used to doing meditations, go back to these episodes and play those meditations. Use them, because I create these to help us get centered and make that connection to our inner guidance. So the more centered we remain, the more clearly we can recognize truth without getting swept into the emotional turbulence. So that is the tip of the week to raise our vibration. So, that concludes the end of our show. And, if you enjoyed the show today, Please like, share, and like, subscribe, and share with a friend. And, thank you for joining me today on the Good Vibes Lifestyle live stream. And remember, wherever you are on your journey, remember that your energy matters, your consciousness matters. And together, we are really helping raise the vibration of the planet, one person at a time. So until next time, keep your vibe high and keep your heart open. Take care, everyone. Peace out, and I'll see you.